Let's talk manifestations. Hello everyone, I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. Welcome to my channel. I make videos to inspire you to be the star of your own life. Today I want to talk to you about manifestation, particularly around Valentine's Day. This honestly can apply to just about any holiday, but for me, this experience was most relevant on Valentine's Day. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of my story of manifestation that hopefully can give you some inspiration for manifesting your own perfect romantic day. So a little backstory and the reason why I wanted to do this as a Valentine's Day theme. Historically, I have had horrible Valentine's Days, like absolutely abysmal. And I don't just mean like, oh, this guy took me on a date and it didn't go perfectly. No, I'm talking like my life has fallen apart on Valentine's Day. Like not even romantically. I've been fired from jobs on Valentine's Day. One time I got bumped off the list for a really major audition opportunity, like on Valentine's Day. I had this really dramatic Valentine's Day one year where I was like, I'm just gonna have a nice, quiet, romantic dinner with myself at home. Like I'm not gonna go anywhere. The carbon monoxide detector went off in my apartment. I ended up having to call 911 because they thought there was a gas leak in my apartment. It was a whole big drama situation. I ended up having to have the gas company come at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like, it was drama. For some reason, there is something about Valentine's Days that just life falls apart for me. Like, and that's aside from the fact that I've never had like a good Valentine's Day date. Like I'm not even looking for that at this point. I was looking for like the world to not completely collapse on Valentine's Day, right? I kind of got into this pattern because so many bad things had always happened to me on Valentine's Day that I got into this pattern of like just wanting to hunker down and essentially just like stay in bed under the covers and like hide out on Valentine's Day because I'm like, oh my God, how bad are things gonna get? And I noticed that every time I did that, and it wasn't just Valentine's Day, like Valentine's Day was significant when things would always go wrong, but like I have some similar experiences on like my birthday, not quite as dramatic, but I would get like, oh, I'm just gonna try to keep it really low key. I really just don't want like everything to collapse around me on that day. And so I would keep the bar so low. I wouldn't even be able to reach the bar. Like it would sink even lower. Like I'd be like, okay, let me just have a quiet dinner, and then like something would fall apart. Or like, okay, I'm not even gonna try to make a dinner, but can I just like watch a movie that day? And like something would fall apart and I wouldn't be able to watch the movie. Like it was just like, no matter how low I would set the bar, things would get worse. It was just this pattern for me that just kept happening. So last year I decided to try something a little different because I figured at this point, like what have I got to lose, right? So I decided to plan out my perfect ultimate Valentine's Day. I did this like, you know, around the beginning of the year, like after the whole New Year's hoopla had happened. And I spent like, you know, about a month or so just planning and imagining my absolute perfect Valentine's Day. Ultimate, like completely out of reach, like I'm gonna like just plan out this day as if it's gonna be the most amazing day. So what I did was I created a Pinterest board just for like Valentine's Day 2022, because this was last year. And I had all these images of like all these things that like I just want, like my ultimate, most romantic, sensual Valentine's Day. I journaled every day. I actually journaled twice a day at that point. In the morning and in the night, I wrote this journal entry all about like exactly how my day was going. Like imagining I was there, like in this day, in this perfect Valentine's Day, like how I could imagine it to be the absolute most perfect day in the entire world. Now, there were some things in this Valentine's Day that were completely within my control. There were some things that were completely out of my control. I focused on the things that were within my control. I wanted to have a certain type of breakfast. I wanted to wake up and have a certain type of breakfast. I could make that kind of breakfast. That's completely within my control. Now, I can't exactly have that breakfast with the love of my life if he doesn't come into my life. That's outside of my control. But I wasn't gonna worry about anything that was outside of my control. I wasn't really gonna worry about it at all. All I was gonna do was I would plan the things that I could plan that were within my control. And I had no idea if this was gonna work. Like this could have all completely fallen apart on me. I had no idea. I was like, you know what? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Like, as long as I survive, it's fine, right? So yeah, last year Valentine's Day came and went, and I gotta admit, I looked back on it the next day and I was like, wow, a lot of my day actually did go exactly as I wanted it to. Now, Was it exactly what I planned? No, I wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't with the man. I wasn't with the love of my life. But a lot of the things that I said that I really wanted to do and experience that day, I did. And it didn't look exactly like Pinterest. It didn't look exactly like as I described it. But overall, it was a pretty good day. And I look back on it and I was like, wow, when I aim for the best, even when I don't, it's like that saying that like, shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll still be among the stars, right? It's like that saying where, you know, I didn't have any attachment to it or any expectation of it being perfect or being exactly like what I wanted. I was aiming for the best. And I ended up having a pretty good day. As opposed to living in this like, oh no, I just hope that the world doesn't crumble around me. And then something went wrong and it was like, okay, great, the world is crumbling around me, right? And honestly, you don't have to do this for Valentine's Day. You might not care about Valentine's Day. It doesn't really matter if you do or if you don't. You could do this for a birthday or any kind of special occasion or any kind of important thing that you have coming up in your life. I just wanted to do this around Valentine's Day because this was kind of how I discovered this manifestation. And you know, I mean, again, I use Pinterest and journaling and like visualization and stuff like that, and a little bit of planning and a little bit of know-how. You can really do your manifestation any way that feels good for you. It's just, you know, for me, that's what worked, and I really just sort of set the intention and I set the bar high. I set the bar high, but I didn't stay attached to it. And I didn't stay attached to it having to be exactly the way that I said it. And I just, you know, I hope that you can learn something from that. Is that sometimes we get caught up in this idea of like, oh, this didn't go well, so I have to lower my standard. For me, it was kind of like, well, I don't really have a huge attachment to Valentine's Day anyway. But let me set the bar high. Let me set the bar ridiculously high and see if I can actually change my luck. And last year I did. It worked out really well, and I just want to encourage all of you in any situation, and this could not just necessarily be for a day or a holiday, it could be a partner. It was right around this time too, I actually had this amazing woman reach out to me on social media telling me that she was in an amazing relationship. Really random how we connected, and she just got engaged, and she said that the biggest lesson she learned from being single for so long and then getting into a relationship was that she was actually aiming too low. That she wasn't letting herself want everything that she really truly wanted, and she was aiming too low. When she actually let herself want and desire what she really wanted, she got everything she'd ever wanted. So look, I'm not going to say that my life is perfect now because I've manifested all of my dreams into my life, but I gotta be honest with you, since I started doing a lot of this manifestation stuff, not just around Valentine's Day, but around my life in general, a lot of stuff has happened for me, like a lot of good things. And I'm hopeful that the rest will come when the time is right. So I hope that some of this inspired you to aim high, like aim for what you really want. Like, I think sometimes we're just so afraid to actually even ask, even if we don't tell anyone. Like, I didn't tell anyone I was doing this when I did it. I actually was very distinctly just talk to myself about it. I did this very low key. I didn't want to like film it. I didn't want to share it last year. I didn't want to affect the experiment. I just wanted to see like how it worked. And I was amazed at how well it worked. I think sometimes we're so afraid to ask for what we really want. We don't ask for it, and then of course we don't get it because we're not really asking for it. You know, we're not really asking the universe. And you don't have to tell anybody what you're asking for. You don't have to share it. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. It's just you, and it's just for you. And I think, you know, whatever it is, if it's, you know, creating a vision board or a Pinterest board or journaling or all of the above or something, creating like a nice little like sacred space in your room or in your home somewhere, just dedicated to what you want. I have my little like divine masculine space where I have like some images and things of things that represent the divine masculine to me, to call that in. Like there's so many different things that you can do that just inspire you to really know what you want and own what you want. And it's just more likely that those things are going to come into your life. So I really hope that this was inspiring to you. I want to talk about this in time for you to do something like this for Valentine's Day if that's what you want to do, because that's the day that I experimented with. But you know, you could do this at any time. I just wanted to share this now as a little Valentine's Day inspiration. And I also wanted to include a few things that I would suggest as like a Valentine's Day gift guide. And these are things that you could definitely, if you're single, treat yourself. I do every year. I'm usually single on Valentine's Day, to be honest with you. And I like to treat myself. I like to treat myself on Valentine's Day. Be your own Valentine. I say this all the time. Be the love of your life. And you know, so If you're single, enjoy it. I actually think that, you know, if you are single on Valentine's Day and you're feeling like, oh, everybody's in a relationship, oh, people who are in love get another day, whatever you're feeling like that, use it as a day for self-love. Like, who says Valentine's Day has to just be about loving somebody else? It can be about loving yourself too. Use this as a day for self-love and self-care. Love Yoni Pleasure Palace. I'm an affiliate for them, so I am going to give you some suggestions from Yoni Pleasure Palace, and they are affiliate links. They don't affect you at all. I just get a little bit of money if you purchase something from them. You can use my link. You can also use my discount code as well. I love their products. Again, I would not be an affiliate for a company that I didn't really love and support. And I thought I would put together a collection of rose quartz because rose quartz really is love. It's Valentine's Day. I have a whole video sharing my Yoni Pleasure Palace favorites. I've gotten a couple new things since then. But yeah, if you want to know all my Yoni Pleasure Palace favorites, with the exception of a couple new things that I purchased, I will link that video to this one so you can check that out. You can see all of my selections. I just have a little selection of some rose quartz treats for you because rose quartz, Valentine's Day love, why not? But you could really get so many different crystals. They have all kinds of different crystals and stones. They're all body safe. They have glass products if you're not into using crystals or things like that. Some people have said like, oh my god, you can put like cold crystals and glass in your body. Only if it is body safe, mind you, and especially in wintertime when it's colder. You can warm them up, not hot water, but under warm water, and it feels really smooth and warm and yummy. So again, listen to your body. Never put anything in your body that you are not 100% comfortable with. But these are just some suggestions of things that I love. One thing, Yoni egg. There's so many different ways you can use a Yoni egg, and this is a rose quartz one. I have, I think, all the crystals in the Yoni eggs. I don't use them all the time because I don't have time to do them all the time. I actually have some just sitting on display as these like beautiful crystals. The egg is such a beautiful divine feminine symbol. Egg means new life, fertility, and everything. These are great like pelvic floor strengtheners. They're great to meditate with. There's so many different things that you can do with these. I love my rose quartz one. I've had some pretty big like emotional breakthroughs using my rose quartz Yoni egg. It comes in so many different crystals, but I just want to shout out the rose quartz one because this is really about love. It can be about self-love. So this would be a great thing to treat yourself to on Valentine's Day or to give to a loved one. Great beginner wand is this is called the Rosy. It's a rose quartz wand. It's straight, it's smooth. It is quite cold because it's quite cold in here because it's winter time, but you just run this briefly under warm, not hot because you don't want it to crack, but under warm water, and it is just, it's very smooth. It's a great beginner wand because it's not very intimidating. You can use the smaller end, you can use the bigger end, whatever you're comfortable with. You can use this for de-armoring, which is sort of like internal massage. You can use this for stimulation. You can use this for a lot of different things. It's a really great beginner wand for somebody who's maybe a little bit intimidated by some of the things that are a little more elaborate. This is also the rose quartz curve, which is a little bit more for G-spot stimulation. It has like the rounded ball that you can use. You could also use this side for de-armoring as well. The curve just gives you a little bit more of an angle that you can use. This is actually new to me. I haven't actually used this yet, and I got this the same time I got the next thing I'm going to show you and didn't realize they were pretty much the same. I'm probably not going to get as much use out of this one because I'm probably going to use the other one a lot more. But yeah, if you're looking for something that's like a step up from the Rosy and you want something that's a little bit more advanced, this is going to be a little bit more useful for different types of internal stimulation, I'll put it that way. This is my newest purchase. I actually treated myself to this as sort of like a birthday / Christmas present. I have the cervix serpent in the glass, and I remember thinking too that I was like, oh, I would love it if that came in like a rose quartz. That would be amazing. And I happened to check the website and they had just released this, so I think I might have manifested this into life. This end is actually the wand part. This is a little bit thinner than this is, but the ball on the top is about the same. So if you're going to invest in this, you probably don't need this. I would say this is going to be more versatile for you. Don't let the length fool you. You don't have to put this all the way in your body. This is designed so you can use either end, but you can use a handle, right? So you have more control when you're using it. You can use the ball end for G-spot stimulation. You can use the pointed end for like waking up your cervix. It's really good for de-armoring, which is really just like internal massage, waking up all the parts. It's kind of like, you know, when you do like a roller massage, or you use a foam roller or use some kind of like pressure points massage on your body. It's just doing this internally. I've used the glass one, which is great, and I recommend the glass one. The glass one actually has like ridges on it and stuff. The glass one's great. I really really love the idea of using the rose quartz, because the rose quartz for me just has a really special place in my heart, and I love that I love all that it symbolizes. You are self-pleasuring or you're trying to de-armor or things like that. It's such a loving thing to do for yourself that I just love the symbolism of the rose quartz. You can go with glass if you're not comfortable with crystals. I love this. I haven't had a ton of time to play with this, to use it, but I will be soon. I have another rose quartz crystal that I'm not going to show you because the last time I tried to put this in a video, it's in my last video where I reviewed my favorite Yoni Pleasure Palace products. It's a rose quartz, symbol of divine masculine, I'll put it that way. And they tried to block my video because I had it there. So it'll be linked probably in the blog post. I might be able to link some of these below. Not sure. YouTube likes to be a little particular with this kind of stuff. Something that is not sexual, but it's very sensual. They have a kit on Yoni Pleasure Palace. I didn't actually buy the kit on Yoni Pleasure Palace because I had these products already, but they have a kit that actually has a rose quartz like mask, which feels really nice, especially in warmer weather. You know, if you want some kind of like cooling, depuffing sensation, like lying with this over your face feels really beautiful. It comes in a kit where you can get that. You can get a facial roller, which I really love for like facial massage. It's really great. And a rose quartz gua sha, which I've been using gua sha so much. Love the facial massage, and I get a lot of like jaw tension and stuff, like especially on one side, and I find that gua sha really is amazing for just like loosening up a lot of the tension that I get like in my jaw and my neck. So yeah, you can get that whole like sort of facial kit on Yoni Pleasure Palace and stuff, and I think that's a really great treat, because there are some like, I mean, they're mostly pleasure wands and yoni eggs and things like that, but they do have some non-sexual treats that you could treat yourself to, or you could treat a loved one to. Maybe like a Valentine's Day gift or something if you get together with a bunch of girls and celebrate Valentine's Day, or just, you know, gift to yourself or gift to a loved one. They have a few toys on there that are for men. It's mostly for women though, mostly for that divine feminine energy, but they do have a few stimulating toys for men, so you can check that out. Again, you can use my discount code on anything on their website. I'll have some links below. I will probably have to link to a blog post where I'll put these products on there, because I think YouTube's gonna get a little weird when it comes to this stuff. But I just wanted to include some of these things because honestly, if you're not in a relationship, even if you are in a relationship, you can still love on yourself, right? I mean, why not give yourself the gift of self-love, right? Why not? You should do it every day, but you know, days like that are really devoted to love, do something nice for yourself. So there's just some ideas. There's so many more things you can do. And again, try out the manifestation tips for Valentine's Day or for any day, really. I mean, you can still do them. You know, the new year just happened. You can do it. Still set your intentions for, you know, the upcoming year or anything you desire to call into your life. But I hope that you were inspired by this video to, you know, really own what it is that you want and to manifest it into your life. So any questions or any information that you want about manifestation, you want me to do any kind of follow-up or anything like that, let me know. If you have any other questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I love to hear from you and I love your suggestions. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and be sure you subscribe to my channel. If you're a woman and would like to connect to your feminine energy, I have online courses. Details in the description box below, along with links to all my social media accounts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time.